Hi everyone, this is Paulo from DNB Academy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you 3 ways to make your drum sounds fatter. But before we get started, make sure you get subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to not miss any of our future videos, and also I gotta tell you that almost all of the sounds in this video come from our new Discord community pack. It's free, you can download it right now, the link is in the description below. So now, let's get started. So the first tip that I got for you is parallel compression. So let's say that we have this break, and we feel that it could use a bit more energy and it lacks a bit of body. So what we can do is we can bring a compressor into this channel, group that compressor, and then go into the chain selector, and let's rename this one the dry signal, and let's hit Ctrl D to duplicate this and rename it the compressed signal. So let's delete the compressor of the dry chain, and let's focus on this compressed chain. So the way parallel compression works is you use a compressor, and compress the living hell out of the drum bus that you have. And you do that to add extra body into the drums that you have in that channel. Once you do that, you need to start mixing that compressed signal with the dry signal. So let's do that right now. But first, I gotta turn off this makeup gain button because it will compensate automatically all the gain loss with the compression, and we don't want that for now. So now let's go to the threshold and bring it down. So we're compressing this signal a lot. Once we have that, let's boost the ratio to compress it even more. And then let's compensate with the output gain. And as you can see, this signal is getting really crushed, but there's also more sustain into the drums. So now let's change the attack. Let's make it really short, so all the clicks get compressed too. And let's play with the release. And as you can see, the release time controls how much tail do we get. So in this case, as I said, we want to add a bit of body into our break loop. So let's bring the release a bit shorter, so the tops get more body and they get more sustained. And then let's use an utility into this chain to compensate for the gain loss. And once we have this, let's bring the level of the compressed chain all the way down, and let's mix it into the dry signal. As you can see, it really adds that body into the high frequencies. So let's do an A and B. This is without parallel compression, and this is with it. Now, one thing though, you need to be careful with your levels. So, for example, if we turn this off, we can see that we are peaking at around 0.12 decibels. Let's actually bring the channel a bit lower. So now we're peaking at minus 1.88. And when we turn this on, we're peaking at 0.5. So let's add another utility, put it after the chain, and bring it down a couple decibels. So now, as you can see, we're peaking at minus 2.3. Now let's do an A and B of all of this once again. So this is without parallel compression. Now this is with it. And you can see how the drums get more aggressive, and they're even peaking a bit quieter. And that is because we knew how to use parallel compressor and also how to gain stage it into our project. So that is tip number 1, parallel compression. All right, so the second tip is soft clipping. So here we have G-Clip. This is a great free plugin, and let me show you why. But first, let me just play the drums that we have. As you can see, these drums have really high peaks, and we can see that if we go to our levels, we're peaking at 4 decibels. Now let's turn on G clip. And let's bring this clip knob down. And we can see that the overall perceived loudness of the sound doesn't change. But we're peaking at a lower level, and we just gain over 6 decibels of headroom. Now we can even drive these drums even higher. And they sound much more fat, even though they're peaking at a lower level. And in the end, in the master chain, these drums will not trigger the limiter so hard, and we won't get too much distortion, but we will have loud and fat drums. Now let's do an A and B real quick. This is without. Now this is with it. Much more aggressive. So that is tip number 2. Now let's go to tip number 3. And this one has to do with sound design. So let's say that we have this snare. And we like it, but we don't feel completely happy with where the sound is. So the solution is layering. For example, let's go into the Discord free pack and let's browse through the snares. For example, this snare has a really nice click. So let's bring it here into the arrangement view. And let's use this click that is much better into the snare that we're trying to build. Let's crossfade it. And so now our snare has a much more aggressive click. Now let's A and B. And we can do this as many times and with as many parts of the snare as we want. So let's bring another snare. Like this one that has a great ending noise. And let's combine that with our snare here. And this instantly makes our snare better. So let's do a comparison real quick. This is the original snare. Now this is our new improved snare. So that is tip number 3. Now here's a bonus tip. You can have the best sounding drums, but if you have tons of elements on top of them, they will get buried in the mix. For example, in this project, my kicks get buried under so much bass. So one extra tip is the use of sidechain or ducking. Sidechain is a mixing technique where you bring the level of all the elements down when the kick or snare are hitting like this. Notice the pumping effect. Now if we put our kick and snare in there, now we can hear them. So without it, and now with it, it hits super hard. So that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below, or you can reach out to me in the community Discord. The link is in the description below. Once again, make sure you get subscribed to the channel, click the notification bell to not miss any of our future videos. Follow us on Instagram because we post there pretty much daily. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that you can also get the free Discord community pack. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.